Somebody shared this with me. Actually, it was John Harris from Conversations That Matter podcast. And it's a video from Dr. Russell Moore, my most favorite social commentator. Anyway, it's a video from his YouTube channel. And in this, I didn't watch it. I'm not going to watch this video. That's just, I have to draw the line somewhere. I refuse. But anyway, it's a video about Christianity and a healthy democracy where he is sharing a report that I guess the ERLC put out, which if you're in the Southern Baptist Convention, you paid for this. I just want you to know that you're complicit in this. You paid for this report. I hope you find it very helpful. I am not going to read it, but I heard that there was a few knocks on YouTubers in this report, which I found hilarious and oh so spicy. And I searched the word YouTube, and there's a few mentions of YouTube, and it's always negative. It's always like, well, if you get your news from YouTube, then that means that you're less civil, according to the statistics, than other people. And here's a final sort of recommendation that the ERLC, remember, you paid for this, guys, you paid for this. These are the recommendations that it gives to you, so you could be a real solid, pious Christian in politics. And here's the very first recommendation that they give you. Listen to this. Ready? It says, get your news from print media. It is good civic hygiene to stay informed about current events. TV and social media are very bad at this. They seem better suited to entertainment and superficial connection with friends, respectively. Avoid TV news and talk shows. Subscribe to a newspaper or news magazine. And do not debate politics over Facebook and Twitter. Do not, listen to this, ready? Do not use late night comedy or YouTube shows as your primary source of news. Get that Washington Post subscription, man. You want to be respectable, don't you? Get that Washington Post or the New York Times. Yeah, get the New York Times. Subscribe to the New York Times. Did you know you could subscribe to the New York Times no matter where you live? You don't have to live in New York. That's the trustworthy source, by the way. I mean, if you want news and you want to be civil and you want to be respectable in society, don't watch YouTube. Don't watch it. It'll make you mean. It'll make you harsh. It's not good civic hygiene to get your news primarily from YouTube. This is hilarious. I've said many times that the ERLC and the Gospel Coalition is obsolete, and this is just them recommending that you stay obsolete. the print media, let's just be honest, the newspapers, the Washington Post, the New York Times, all this stuff. This is legacy media. And actually, TV news in many ways, cable news, this is legacy media. You see, the reality is that a guy with a camera and a microphone that costs less than $100 combined can have more of an impact on news and the way people understand things than CNN with $10 million. I mean, CNN has to spend so much money, and they have to use underhanded tactics to suppress independent YouTubers and things like that. It's just hilarious. This is a sinking ship. Dr. Russell Moore and his ERLC said, but that's the only way to stay respectable. What's so funny about this, too, is that maybe this is how my mind works. I don't know if your mind works this way. He's announcing this, that you shouldn't get your news from YouTube on YouTube. I mean, what is this? If you remember, Dr. Russell Moore very recently was very excited about this. He's very excited to start his YouTube channel. And we've done some videos on his YouTube content, which I find fantastic. I love this channel. But he's announcing on YouTube a report that says you shouldn't get your news from YouTube. You got to trust print media. YouTube, the New York Times, Washington Post, that's what you got to do. Why would he do this? This is the question. Why would he do this? Why would he announce on YouTube that if you watch too much YouTube, you're going to become mean, and you're not going to be a Christian in politics? Why would he do this? Well, I have a sneaking suspicion. Call me a conspiracy theorist, if you will, but I don't think his YouTube channel is going very well. I really don't think it's going very well. Now, you might find this interesting because it's going better than my YouTube channel, you might say. You know, he launched this, remember, less than a year ago. Dr. Russell Moore launched this. He's got 3.5, 3.5, I was going to say 3.5 million. He's got 3,500 subscribers, roughly, give or take. I've only got like 26. So he's got more subscribers than me. I've been doing this for 2 years, and he's been doing it for less than a year. And his videos, you know, they get a modest amount of views. I mean, they go roughly about the same as mine. Let's just be honest. Like this video that we're talking about, 180 views, was posted 3 days ago. 362 views, 170 views. This one on porn got 1,500 views. That's, you know, these are spicier topics that get more views. He did one about Jared Wilson committing suicide. That one got 3,000 views. He got, you know, Jackie Hill Perry gets 900 views, but you know, Ronald Sider only gets 130 views over a course of a month. Over the course of a month. So you see, when he gets a spicier topic, he'll get a couple thousand views. You know, social gospel, you know, do suicide victims go to heaven, premarital sex, that'll get 2,000 views a piece. But when it's just like a normal video, like, for example, you know, signposts with Jonah Goldberg, that gets 500 views. You know what I mean? That'll get a couple hundred views. And Ronald Sider will get a couple hundred views. Natural disasters, 200 views. So, like, it's not going very well for him, because let's just be honest. I'm willing to bet that Russell Moore's YouTube channel has a pretty big budget. I'm willing to bet that he's put some money into this thing. And it's not going very well. There has not been a very good return on his investment. Here's Signposts with Thomas Kidd, 170 views. I mean, look, I'm not trying to mock the guy, but, you know, look. This goes to show you, you can have a huge platform, you can be a conference speaker, a well-known author, someone with considerable political influence. I mean, let's just be honest, Russell Moore has a huge platform and considerable influence. I mean, he can probably write an article for the Washington Post today, and it will get published. Whereas I could try very hard to get a Washington Post article published, I'll never do it. So I've got zero budget, a cheap camera, a microphone, a cheap camera, and a terrible wardrobe, and I have just as much or arguably more influence on YouTube than Dr. Russell Moore has, and let's just be honest, he probably has put some money into this. You know what I mean? And it's not going very well. And let's just be honest, like, that's why he's releasing a report about how YouTube is bad. So if you get your news on YouTube, you're a bad Christian. This is just preposterous, ridiculous. I suggest stop paying for this stuff. This is stupid. This is really stupid. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. God bless.